Hello, guys and gals, lords and ladies, saints and servants of every kind. Welcome to Rise Up Jerusalem. My name is Connor, and this week we are going to be bouncing off of what we talked about last week as this week's topic. If you haven't seen last week's episode, link is in the description. If you have seen last week's episode, you know that we talked about books, specifically Catholic books, good books that you should read over the summer that will help you grow in your faith. This week we're going to be talking about Catholic books that are just fun, enjoyable reads, books that you don't have to see and write about in your journal for hours later. Just good, wholesome reads. So, just like last week, we're going to start from number 5 and go to 1 because the countdown works like that, and it's a countdown, so let's start right up with number 5. Number 5 is any single book written by Louis de Wohl. And I know that's an incredibly cheap cop-out, but hear me out. Louis de Wohl is an amazing writer. He takes a view of the saints that I have never seen before. What he does is he'll take a saint and talk about what's going on around them, not specifically just them. So you'll learn more and more about the history of the time period in which the character was living, more so than you'll learn just about the character, especially in his book about Ignatius of Loyola. He has a bunch of books. One's on St. Benedict, one's on Thomas Aquinas, there's one on St. Joan of Arc, one on Catherine of Siena, one on Don John of Austria. I doubt anyone knows who he is. If you do, call me out in the comments below with who he is, if you really actually know who Don John of Austria is, or if you want me to talk about who Don John of Austria is with my Who the Heaven Is series. But seriously, read Louis de Wohl's books. They are all on Amazon, like $10 or $11 each. They're all on Kindle. Absolutely phenomenal books. If I had to recommend one, I don't know which one I would say. I would probably say Set All Aflame, Stories in Catherine of Siena, because it is absolutely amazing. Either that one or The Quiet Citadel, The Story of St. Benedict, because that one's amazing. The Joan of Arc one is really good. St. Francis of Assisi is phenomenal. Ignatius Loyola is really good. They're all just good. Just read them all. They're really good. Or just pick one to read and stick with that. Book number 4 is called The Miracle of Father Kapaun. Again, you can get it on Kindle. If you don't know who Father Kapaun is, I'll be doing Who the Heaven Is rather soon on him because holy cow, he is freaking amazing. Chris Stefanik did a really great video on who Father Kapaun is in his story. Quick rundown, he was a priest during the Korean War who was captured by the Koreans with his battalion, I believe, and they get put in a POW camp, and his amazing, amazing story of survival and how much he helped out other people in the POW camp. It may or may not leave you in tears. It's an amazing book. I should have mentioned this a couple weeks ago back when the Memorial Day, but this is a phenomenal book. Father Kapaun, he's currently a servant of God. If you don't know what a servant of God is, watch my overview of the Saints episode. Shameless plug. And he's just an amazing. They're preparing his cause for canonization. He's an amazing, amazing, amazing saint. So book number 4 is The Miracle of Father Kapaun. Book number 3 is by Michael P. Foley called Why Do Catholics Eat Fish on Fridays? The cover is like a cross, but the vertical beam is a fish. It's the Catholic origin to just about everything. And when it says just about everything, I mean literally everything it could topic. Everything it covers. So I'm just going to open it to a random page. Oh yeah, piñatas and where they come from according to Catholicism, and playing cards, and sports teams' names. All right, open it to a random page again. The French Royal Arms, Great Britain's Union Jack, the flag of Montserrat. Like, it tackles everything. Heck, it tackles why bowling is related to Catholicism. It tackles literally every single thing. Flowers, food, feasts, words, other words, Bible expressions. Like, it tackles everything from a Catholic point of view. This book will have you half the time going, I did not know that. It's just an amazing book that tackles every little tiny thing about the world in light of Catholicism. It's my number 3 pick because it's a really, really enjoyable read. You can just pick a page. You don't even have to, set a time to read something and be like, I'm going to read this for the next few weeks. It's just like, I got 30 minutes. I can read a little bit more. It's a quick, easy book. Now, my number 2 pick is an incredibly thick book. If you're a fast reader, then I recommend this book because this book is 508 pages long. And again, you can get it on Kindle so it doesn't take place in your bookshelf, or you can get the full thing so it looks really cool on your bookshelf. This book is called The Robe by Lloyd C. Douglas. This is a school book that I had to read, just like the Understanding the Bible book last week. This book is also a school book for me, and can I just say, it's probably one of the best, if not the best, religious fiction, I guess you could call it, books that I've ever read. I'm just going to read the back. It says, a Roman soldier Marcellus wins Christ's robe as a gambling prize. He then sets forth on a quest to find the truth about the Nazarene's robe. Sounds really corny and cheesy, but in all honesty, it's an amazing story. I couldn't not like this book. This book doesn't seem like it's a religious fiction, but it is. And it's a historical fiction. It's religious fiction. It really goes into the real roots of Catholicism and of early Catholicism, and it's just, there's nothing I can say without like spoiling a lot of the book, because it's just a phenomenal book. It's romance. It has fighting, fencing, dragons. I'm kidding about the dragons, but I'm trying to quote the Princess Bride here, so cut me some slack. But that is my number 2 pick because it is absolutely phenomenal. Now my number 1 pick is actually a fiction novel. This is called the Fairy Tale Retold series, or the Fairy Tale novels. If you hadn't heard of them, they're written by Regina Doman. She's a absolutely phenomenal author. She takes fairy tales, places them in the modern day, and makes the protagonist Catholic. I believe I've read every single one of the books she's read. And if that sounds really odd, it's not. Her writing style is absolutely phenomenal. The stories and the characters are rich. It doesn't seem like it's pulling too much either on the Catholic side or on the fairy tale side. It's just an all-around good series. So it starts off Shadow of the Bear, Black as Night, Waking Rose, Alex O'Donnell and the 40 Cyber Thieves, and then Midnight Dancers. All of her books are absolutely phenomenal. I'm just going to give a quick synopsis of the first one so you understand what I'm talking about. It's about 2 sisters based off the story of Rose, Red, and Snow White. 2 sisters living in New York. Their mother has a pretty low-paying job. They're both in high school. And they meet these 2 boys named Bear and Fish, which sounds really, really dumb. Bear's this big, brawling, sprawling man, and Fish is his little younger brother. And they just come to these 2 girls' lives, and stuff happens. And it's just, oh my goodness, it's so good. I can't give anything away, and it's hard to say anything. If you have read them, tell everyone else who's watching this video how good they are, because, oh my goodness gracious, it is absolutely phenomenal. I'm just going to give this small part away. There may or may not in one of the books be guys storming an abortion clinic with swords. Not saying that happens, not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it may be a possibility. So that's my number 1 pick for Catholic books to enjoy reading over the summer. Do you have any other, guys? Seriously, write them down in the comments below. Tell me what they are so I can include them in another thing. Maybe a back-to-school Catholic books to read? I don't know. I'm struggling here. And if you think that anybody who you know will enjoy any of these books, tell them. Share it. Facebook post it. Twitter post it. Instagram. I don't know. I genuinely have no idea. But tell people, because these books are only good if they get read. And the more people who read them, phenomenal. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go and eat some sweet tarts now. But as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, rise up and live.